That would be the smartest thing. Oh, sorry. Okay, gonna call the meeting to order. It's 3 o'clock. Becky, you want to do roll call, please?
I sure will. Tom Wilson.
Here.
Dean Creel.
Here.
Jack Skagstad.
Here.
Mike Pearson.
Here.
Ryan Rod.
Here.
Chris Norberg.
Chris Norberg's not here yet. Complete our committee. Okay, there's nobody here from outside to speak. The approval of minutes. If there are no changes or corrections to the minutes from the June 10th Facilities and Maintenance Committee meeting, they will stand as presented. Does anybody have any changes to those? No? Okay, moving on. Maintenance Department report. We have Mr. England here to give us a report of all their workings for this month.
All the workings, we'll start on grounds. I'm just saying, calling us out as the grounds are kind of mediocre at best. We just haven't had a lot of time to really hit them hard. But we do plan on doing it the next couple of weeks. So if you do see some shabby looking sidewalks, we'll hit them. So, we do plan on getting in and thorough with, anything in betweens as far as weeding and things like that. So be patient. The LEC, we've been, hitting a handful of jail side work requests. There's probably 20 or 30 of them in there. It's just going to take, we'd probably be in there for a week at a time here and there for the next couple months, leading up to kind of what they're scoping out to do for the next budget year, which is basically just a bunch of painting, really.
Is all the stuff we're doing out there, is it general maintenance that we can expect year round, or is it just things that need to be
I'd say
tightened up?
every, 4 or 5 years, we're gonna have some malfunctioning buttons and things
Right.
like that. So
That's all part of it though, right?
yeah, that's what's happening. The exit gate malfunctioned the other day, actually last week. Ended up being a reset button, so we thought it was a control board, but ended up being an easy fix. So that is fixed. Down to NCH, we just had the ADS fire alarm. The fire alarms tested. Everything passed -1 strobe that we are getting replaced soon. We are ongoing with the RTU 2 and AHU 1 troubleshooting. I think one of the guys has it kind of dialed down to, we're getting very close. I can't tell you exactly what's going on, but I know the RTU is, as far as I know, resolved by putting in new condenser fan motors. It was just a different manufacturer. The old manufacturer, I guess, threw out a bad batch of motors. They replaced them with a different manufacturer of motors, and it's working just fine. But the air handler 1 is kicking out 2, 3, 4 times a day, where it'll just shut down. So we're thinking it's possibly controls, but we're still investigating. We meaning Hartwig. Elevator at the old jail, we ended up placing out of service. We ended up hitting a smoke detector, that a wire that actually fed to there, so we just decided to place it out of service for the time being.
It was that elevator was not functioning, anyone was using it, correct?
It was functioning on and off, but it's time to replace soon if they're going to keep using it. And speaking of elevators, the 2 south lobby elevators, the actual openers are so outdated that they can't service them. So we just got a number back for that. And
What year are those, 85?
I think they are. So it's It's a decent number, just for 2 openers.
Is that through, who is that? Through
Otis.
Kone? Otis?
Those are Otis. The rest of them are Kones.
So is Otis still in business? Or were they just maintaining Otis?
That I'm not sure. I don't know if they still
In
erect elevators or
Montgomery?
not. Yeah.
Because is that I mean, it's obviously not a warranty issue.
No.
But is there any third-party people that we can contact? I mean, it is impossible to get elevator people, but I'm just asking, is this a third-party person that's doing the warranty work for the Otis
No,
elevator?
no, it's
It's
Otis.
Otis?
Yeah,
Where are they out of? Don't know.
couldn't tell you.
Okay.
I think Iowa,
Are they?
I think. Just throwing it out there,
Yeah,
if my memory serves right.
because Montgomery and, yeah. I just didn't know if it was, just a service department, because I know I don't think they're in business anymore. They are in business?
It's been a,
I wish we could get one elevator person and be done. I mean, but it's just impossible, you know?
not sure why it's impossible, but I was planning on looking into it this past year and it's never happened.
Yeah.
I know it's just due to contracts and things like that, so
Yeah.
we can try to hone it down to just Kone. I'm gonna move to animal control. We replaced a hose bib. It's been leaking for several weeks and, we are planning on still doing the kennel wall, remodel here in the next couple weeks. It's most likely gonna be in August that we actually get to it. But as far as that goes, if you guys are all on the same page, we're just gonna end up pulling all the vinyl off of the kennel side and throwing a tin up. So the dogs can't actually chew through the stuff and damage it. And then we're going to the old courthouse, so the retaining wall, first draft is done. I don't have anything for you guys on that. I'm sure we'll do some other closed session to get our minds together. And the generator control board is fixed, so that is back online.
Was that all warranty work?
Yes. That's all I got.
So is the wall price or just the drawing or what?
There's scope of price on both directions on, retaining wall, block or concrete. So it can go from kind of 3 phases, either we do X, Y, and Z, or just X, or X and Z.
They actually did a site survey and some options. And then we just have to work through what we want to do for options and what have you.
Mhm.
But that all came in and we just got to look through it and figure out which direction we want to go. So,
There's definitely going to be some tweaking involved. I mean, it is the first rough draft. So,
yes. Any questions for Eric? Anyone? Jackson? No? So work order request, we have none. Request for final budgets for, or for numbers, none. Request ready for approvals, none. Building official, Joe, we'd like you to walk us through what's going on with the building department and what can we do to help you out?
Well, I don't know about help out, but I got a lot of stuff going on. We took in $3,298,388.60 in total valuation of permits, with permit fees at $5,217.60. Been busy researching and working on building codes. Trying to get a draft ready to start working through with everyone. That we will have, there's gonna be a lot of things that we have to break down and discuss with this. Amendments to the codes, things that are gonna be exempt from work, fees, a lot to it. It's gonna take a lot of brainstorming to come up with a finalization, but I'm working on getting the rough draft in place. We've been looking at different building and zoning department softwares. And we think we've got it narrowed down to one that we think is gonna work good for us. We just gotta basically see if we can get them a little tighter on the pricing. This is gonna be very beneficial to both departments and, well, and including the compliance side of it. It's gonna do mapping. And everything is gonna be stored in one location. So per address, you'll know all the building permits, if there's been any complaints on it, if they've had any special uses, it'll all be right there in one place. If we can get this implemented.
So in the past, they've had the county sheriffs were part building department people. I mean, they would check for permits and what have you as they're on their patrols. Is that something that these guys will be able to access as well? Or that is something that it's going to be interdepartmental for us?
Anybody who wants to see it can see it. We can give
Okay.
access to anyone.
Okay, very good.
So
Yeah, back in the day. I think
animal
that-
control, health
Okay.
department,
Good,
it can be, this software could be integrated to be used throughout the departments,
nice.
possibly. So,
That'd be great if we could use multiple departments using it at one time.
Yep.
That'd be great.
Yeah.
A lot of your code stuff, I understand is, I mean, it's coming down the pike, but you want to go through some of the stuff that we haven't been enforcing, that we're going to start enforcing, that with the Illinois energy codes and what have you?
the Illinois Energy Code is a very, yes, this was a code that was mandated by the state. Most codes you
Not
have
us.
the option to adopt. This one you do not. You simply, here it is, you must follow. There's no way, there isn't anything you can exempt from the code. You know, because, you know, like with the building codes, when you adopt them, you can exempt things out like sprinklers in single family residential. You can exempt that out. The state code, it's, in my opinion, it's somewhat invasive. It is really going to run up the cost of a project for the individual person or family, whatever, to build a new residential home. It's going to increase the cost significantly. One of my complaints about it is within the code, if you were going to do multifamily, the restrictions are way less.
Yeah.
Than they are for single family. So it's something that, in my opinion, the state is pushing their own agenda, wanting less single family, more multifamily. It's my opinion. It includes things like electric car chargers are required in any new construction in the
build.
garage.
Yep.
Whether you want an electric car in your life at all, you
But-
must have the availability to plug in an electric car in
Yeah.
your new garage.
And that's just a dryer outlet in the garage from Ace
Essentially.
Hardware. That's it. That's all you need to put in there, but you gotta have it in there. There's a lot of things that are gonna drive up the cost. And to elaborate a little bit, I mean, there's no more 2x4 wall construction. There's no more, it's all 2x6. The insulation factors are much higher. The windows and doors are gonna be more money because you have extension jams.
Yep.
All of the above, everything. And then there is rewards for people to build under these parameters. I mean, there's tax abatements because you're saving energy. It is probably I would guess anywhere between 7 and 11% more to build a home in the new energy codes. And that's what I've been told, and I mean, ish.
Yeah, it could be
Um,
higher,
Could be higher.
depending on the region.
But, you know, they say, well, the benefit of the energy efficiency is your heating bills will be less, length of the duration of your windows. I mean, it's just a bunch of it, but we have got to start adopting that, and we need to do that now here. So people aren't, putting up spec homes and not meeting energy codes, because when people buy these homes, that can affect financing and all sorts of stuff. So that's kind of another thing that Joe and Jeremy, I can't even see him, he's so small back there.
He went.
Oh, did he go that way? Okay. But yeah, that's the kind of stuff we're working on. So what else you got?
And, going along with that code is, again,
Oops,
one of
sorry.
the things that their code requires is insulating the foundation. They're requiring that you have a continuous R15 on the exterior or a continuous R5 and then an R13 on the interior of a basement. There's a lot of things that really don't make a ton of sense, because anybody that knows, you're not losing your heat to your basement walls. So, Yeah,
And I
Yes.
think in the basement, it's gonna be out in New York and what have you. I mean, the first 4 feet of the foundation needs to be insulated. They're not expecting an 8-foot wall to be insulated all the way to the ground and inside and outside, but then the inside, if it's getting furred out, has to be to a certain, R factor. So, I mean, it is, like Joe said, it's costly, but there's, it should be beneficial over a period of time. You should save quite a bit of money.
very, more than most likely, yes. The energy efficiency you will recoup eventually. Let's see, what else have Casper Manheim is no longer doing any of the inspections for any of the county residents. I've taken that over. So any of the, all of the building inspections, from the only one I'm not doing really is the setbacks. Jared is still going out and checking all the setbacks and make sure they're in compliance with our ordinance. Thank you.
Relevant to the conversation.
Okay.
How do you know what we're talking about?
It was
Rain Man? So back to the discussion about the women's restroom on the third floor. No, I'm just kidding. Go ahead. Keep going, Joe.
So, we're doing as far as inspections go, we're checking the footings to make sure they're being built to plan, foundations, rough framing, making sure that's being built. I'm doing this as of right now on basically a request. I asked the contractor to please notify me. I can't enforce that until we get a code in place. So if somebody tells me to go pound sand, I really don't have any recourse at this point. But once the codes are adopted, then we'll have all. And like I said, that's the codes, we need to have a sit down and have a lengthy discussion on that whole series. So, yeah, so right now, that's about what I got going on. Any questions from anybody?
Yeah, a lot going on.
Yeah. Well, that's good. There's, we want to be out in the front of this thing because we don't want people to continually do something, all of a sudden have somebody say, well, no one ever told me this, and they're building new homes and we're supposed to be their jurisdiction and we're not. So it's just something we have to champion and just get it done. And that's what Joe's doing. So
Well, and the state of Illinois has mandated that any municipality or county that doesn't have a code in place, they don't have to get one in place, but then you're going to have to revert back to the state required codes. So we're better off just to get, like Tom said, get out in front of this, adopt a code that we want that suits our communities and move forward from there.
you guys, anybody have questions for Joe on anything? I think another thing with Joe is eventually, and then right now, it's not gonna happen because we're so far behind the times, but I mean, one of the things that Joe's gonna do good for us is by coming in and getting that part of our department up to snuff. Because quite frankly, it's been neglected for a long time and it's been taken advantage of. Another thing is when people say, this building guy, he's here to bust me. No, he's not. We're here to protect people in the county. I mean, that's part of the checking the electrical being put in. We want to make sure it's done right. We're not trying to get rich off of this, trying to protect the constituents of Lee County. He's going to be working on a list of contractors. We're going to start registering our contractors, roofers, plumbers, excavators, electricians. We're going to have they got to register with the county, have the proper certificate of insurance, the proper insurances. So if somebody comes up and says, hey, Mr. Chairman, who do I get to do this? We can hand them a list and there's 20 excavators, 20 electricians, and let them pick their own, but let people know these are the ones that are certified with state or with their county. And these are the ones that they're trusted. We're trying to keep people from coming in from other counties that are doing shoddy work, coming in, doing the work and leaving, and then you never hear from them again. So I think that's one of the things that Joe's working towards. And that could be a year down the road, but it's one of the things we've wanted to do for a long time. And I think it's going to be beneficial to the county and to the constituents to know that there's not just one roofing guy, there's 10. And then but that would be registered with us, so.
Correct. Because right now, if somebody came to do electrical work in one of your homes in the county, they wouldn't have to be licensed. They could just say, I'm an electrician and here I go. And they may or may not have the skills and the resources to do the job accurately. At least if you have a licensed electricians, they have passed a test in some community, because unlike plumbers, the state of Illinois does not require electricians to be licensed by the state. Never understood that. But it probably had something to do with lobbyists at one time, but so, but they-
Not in government.
well, maybe it's possible.
No.
So again, those are things that we like to see, that, you know, these are licensed electricians. And
And the other thing is not just licensed, but I mean, part of the, like, as a general contractor, I don't have to be licensed in the state of Illinois. But I do have to be insured and insured properly. And that type of stuff would be, one of the requirements for the county of Lee to say, yes, he's a registered contractor and he does have the proper insurance. It's real simple. It's just simple stuff. But protecting the people in the county, everybody, when we first started talking about bringing in building officials, like, well, you know, we don't want to hurt the constituents. We don't.
No.
We want to help them and we want to make sure they're getting quality people and give them a list of people that are local so we can keep money in the county and not export it to other counties and elsewhere. So,
And one of the things, you know, I talked about with Casper no longer doing the inspections, he was charging the people the fees for the inspections. So, you know, we're gonna be saving your constituents
yeah,
those inspection fees, because we're gonna be doing it through, I'm just gonna be doing it as part of my job, my salary, exactly. So,
and that department should flourish and we should be able to hire, Joe should be able to hire somebody in 5 years to be able to go out and do it. I mean, it should help everybody do these things. I mean, and become more like a good run machine and not just a fly by night thing. So, does anybody have any questions for Joe? Thanks for doing the good work and just keep doing what you're doing.
thank
That's
you very
for
much. I
sure.
will try.
So, unfinished business. There's nothing on unfinished business. New business, retaining wall update. So basically Eric gave you the retaining wall update. We're looking at, just pictures and some evaluations from Willett or from Willett, and, we'll, be in touch with you guys to let you know what we find out and go from there. There's some other things that are cooking that we just have to make sure we take our time and do it right, because this is gonna be the last time we ever want to tackle this project. So it'll, after we determine what direction we want to go as far as what kind of wall we want to put in, then we'll put it out for bid for, anybody and everybody who wants to bid. The Prevailing Wage Act, can bid it, and then we'll award someone, and then we will work with that person to, do what we're expecting as far as how the walls are going to look and all that type of, and it'll look very similar to what the picture is, but some of the pictures that we're just getting back are, they're just renderings of the understanding of what we talked to them about, but it could change a little bit. But as a committee, we'll go through those, pictures probably at the next meeting, I would guess, to show you what we got in mind and what we're trying to do. It's just, the walls are pushing out pretty, the one wall's moved probably 2 3/4 to 3 inches this last freeze thaw cycle. So, anybody else have anything? Yes, sir.
Just an FYI, the Compton Fire Protection Building is underway. Everything was finally cleared through the, third-party review, Kelly Reynolds.
Nice.
It wasn't all cleared, but it was enough that I told them to get started. There was some minor things as far as kitchen ventilation and those kind of things that I said, those can be addressed. Let's get the project underway. It was a little bit frustrating for them, having never had to go through that process before. And, you know, one of our concerns was the soil quality. And we wanted to make sure that what they were building, or what the design was going to
Hold the weight of the
hold the weight of
building.
the building, you know, for the soils, because they were not great. So once we got all that taken care of, then we got the green light and they are under construction now, so.
I mean, and that's another example of, I mean, they're a community and it's community money. So by asking for the soil borings like we did, it's protecting the people, the constituents of that area to make sure they're putting a building on top of something that can do it. If Jack wants to go out and build a new house on top of a garbage heap, that's on him privately. But this is public money. So I mean, the Kelly Reynolds thing, they go through and they do all the, they supply the electrical draw. I mean, they go through and they just look and make sure everything's up to code and up to snuff. And all it is a protection for the citizens again, once again. So I think that's a great thing. And hopefully we keep doing that in those type of projects throughout the county. So, anybody else? Do we need executive session for anything? Okay. Is there a motion to adjourn? I got a first from Dean, second from Mike. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Thank you, guys. Appreciate it.